in my opinion, and I'll just cut to the chase, I think Bitcoin, as Dom said, can be viewed by different funds as different things. I view Bitcoin as insurance. I'm a credit trader. I view the world through a credit lens, and insurance is your most important asset in many cases. And I believe Bitcoin to be the ultimate insurance policy against the traditional finance system. So if I leave you with one thought, gentlemen, it's don't be too smart by a half, which is to say, oh, our fund is at 100% funded. We don't have to look out for new risks in the world. I would encourage you and congratulate you for your performance. And obviously that's because you anticipate where the world is going, not where the world has been. So Bitcoin is a new investment, a new asset class that will generate incredible attention. And I think this is a great starting point for that process to occur within Wisconsin, and then also your state of Wisconsin investment board. That is where the decisions get made. And sometimes it trickles upwards, right, guys? Sometimes the information goes up to the investment board. It doesn't trickle down from the investment board to the pensioners. So let's get it going.
Yeah, I think we talk a lot about this spot ETF that's on the verge right now, and you guys may have seen it in the news, Steve and Malin, with like it's a very hot topic in Bitcoin right now. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Finish.
No. Get in there. Get in there.
Okay, so here's the thing: when you start bringing up these discussions with anyone from traditional finance, generally there tends to be a lot of confusion, because I think if your head is not in this space, like Greg and others on this call, you tend to, I think, sort of misread the landscape of what the public sees as this space. They tend to lump it all together. They all say that's that new stuff, that crypto, that blockchain, that mining. It's all sort of one monolithic. And the reality is, and we'll get into this somewhat here in this call, the reality is that there's a tremendous amount of difference. You kind of have to differentiate between crypto, and we use quotes intentionally there, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin has a very different risk profile, has a very different construction, a very different application, I would say, than all of this other stuff. And I think the problem is that whenever you start raising this in traditional circles, like I said earlier, we want exposure to Bitcoin, they tend to push you towards the Bitcoin miners, or they push you towards blockchain technology companies, which we believe largely on this call, those are kind of a waste of time. And they push you outside of what you should really be focused on, which is Bitcoin, the traditional non-correlated asset of Bitcoin, and holding Bitcoin if you can. So maybe we could explore that a little bit more, Dom.
Joe, that's a great point. I'll add a little bit on that. Big part of what we do is exactly that. We'll talk to investors that have exposure to other asset classes, and some are considering Bitcoin, but a lot of them haven't even heard about Bitcoin before and how it fits in a portfolio, right? And whenever they heard about all of these different things that are kind of like second or third or fourth, or not even derivatives of Bitcoin itself, right? And I think that becomes a little overwhelming and leads to normally people overthinking it and thinking that, like, this is way too complicated for me. This is an asset that I'm never going to understand. It's too volatile. It's way out there. There are too many complexities on this. When in fact, the core asset, which is Bitcoin, it's not that complicated. It's actually very simple. It's 100% transparent. We know exactly how many Bitcoins are out there at any given time. The issuance is predetermined. It's written in code. Couldn't be more transparent, right? And in fact, on a fundamental basis, it's exactly what you want in a portfolio. It's uncorrelated to everything else that you have, and with the potential, as Greg said, to be core insurance in the event, not for the day-to-day, but in the event of like the really distressed scenarios, right? A scenario where everything else is not working, there's potential for Bitcoin to work in that scenario. So 99% of the time, it's not going to work, or it's going to be flat, or it's going to be down. It's by design, right? And I think in the long term, the benefits of it, and we'll go through on this call, are many.